This is Optimal Startup Daily, episode 625, Making the Decision to Leave Your Job by Michelle Schroeder-Gardner of MakingSenseOfSense.com. And I'm Dan, I'm your host, and welcome back to Optimal Startup Daily, or welcome for the first time if you are new to the show. This is the podcast where I read to you from some of the very best blogs that we can find on entrepreneurship, and I do that every single day, including weekends and holidays. So for now, let's get right to our post for this Friday and start optimizing your life. Making the Decision to Leave Your Job by Michelle Schroeder-Gardner of MakingSenseOfSense.com. Lately, I've been answering questions that readers have been asking me. The other day, I published Financial Changes When You Work for Yourself because many people have asked me how self-employment is financially different from working for someone else. Surprisingly, many people I have talked to in person think that self-employment means that you're retired. Oh boy, are they wrong. I've been asked by several people whether I am happy with my decision to leave my job and how I even knew that I should leave it. I definitely think that people should either go for their passion or go for a job that allows them to pursue their passion in some form. I'm not saying that everyone should go into work this week and quit their jobs. However, most of us have had a job, though, that we were not in love with. I recently read that around 30% of workers do not like their job. Also, around 75% of workers would actually leave their job if they received a better offer from another company. That seems like a lot of people. There are some things that you should ask yourself if you think that you may want to leave your job. 1. Why do you want to leave your job? Almost everyone at one point in their life has dreaded Monday morning, or whenever the first day of the work week is for you. No matter how much you love your job, I'm sure there's been at least one point where you would rather be doing something else, such as sleeping in. Do you actually want to leave your job, or are you just going through what most people go through after they work somewhere for a long time? 2. Do you see a future with your current job? Not everyone wants to become CEO of a company when they're older, but do you see your job or company giving you the future that you want? Whatever your dream is, will your job allow for that? Maybe you want a dream position at a certain company. Can you eventually reach this position, or is that impossible at your current company? This is a case where you might want to look for a company where you may be able to reach your dream position. Maybe you want to start a family, and your current job means that you won't be able to have a good work-life balance. Maybe you want to travel the world, but your job doesn't allow for any vacation time. 3. Do you have realistic expectations of what you plan on switching to? When you first think about leaving your job, you may have hopes for something better. However, that may not always be the case. What will you be switching to? How will you make an income? How do you know that your next company or job or boss or colleagues may not be just as bad? 4. If you weren't afraid, what would you want to be doing? One of the top reasons for why a person doesn't leave the job they hate to pursue what they want to do is because they're afraid. They are afraid to fail, afraid to not love it, afraid to let others down, afraid to not make enough money, and so on. Fact is, you will probably be scared leaving your job. You'll be scared to do whatever is next in your life. However, create as solid a plan as you can and believe in yourself. 5. Do you have another job lined up? If you want to leave your job, then you might want to have another job lined up if you don't have a well-funded emergency fund. Yes, there may be some instances where leaving your job cannot wait another day, but you should be as prepared as you can before you leave your job. And 6. If you want to start your own business, could you start it and keep the job you have? If you can, try to pursue your next position or business on the side to see if it's even possible. This can give you a good taste as to whether or not you think your passion is actually your passion. You might find out that you actually hate it, and you might want to just stay at your day job. This way, you don't lose out on any income, and you get to keep your job. You just listened to the post titled, Making the Decision to Leave Your Job by Michelle Schroeder-Gardner of MakingSenseOfSense.com. And thank you to Michelle, who created Making Sense of Sense to keep track of her financial progress, help readers improve their finances, and help her own personal finances, including being able to pay off $38,000 in student loans in 7 months. Michelle lived in an RV touring America and now lives on a sailboat, and she and her husband actually sold their house and became full-time travelers. Like many of the authors on our shows, she went from being in debt to financially free, and she documents the journey on her blog. And to help readers really understand what she's doing and how she's done it, she publishes monthly income updates and shares how she earns over $100,000 a month online, so she's pretty open about it, and you can check all of it out at her site, makingsenseofsense.com. That's making sense, S-E-N-S-E, of sense, C-E-N-T-S.com. But that's going to do it for today. I hope you are having a great one, and I will be back here with you tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.